This brief video segment will show the process of how apple cider is produced. We start out picking the apples, which includes several varieties off our trees in the orchard, into picking pails that are 1 bushel in capacity. The apples are then transferred into 15 bushel apple crates, which weigh approximately 650 pounds each when full. The apples are then loaded onto a trailer where they are transported down to the cider mill. The apple crates are then rolled onto the apple bin lifting machine, which raises the apples up and through a door that opens, places the apples on a conveyor where they are transferred to the apple washing machine. The apples are then washed with high-pressure water jets and rolling brushes to be cleaned. The apples then head up a conveyor where they enter the apple grinder and are ground into pumice. The pumice is then transferred by a pump through a hose where it is used to spread the pumice on the press cloths. We use a rack and cloth system of pressing, where a wood rack is laid on the press cart and a square form is then laid on top of the wood rack, and a cloth is then laid over the square form, and the apple pumice is then spread evenly over the press cloth. The press cloth acts as a strainer, which allows the juice as well as the fine apple skins to pass through the press cloth, which are a good source of antioxidants when consumed. One bushel of apples yields about 3 gallons of cider. This rack and cloth system is continued layer upon layer until a total of 14 layers are stacked. These 14 layers, when pressed, will yield approximately 200 gallons of cider. The press cart is then rolled underneath the cider press. Pressure is then applied by a hydraulic piston rising from the bottom, which produces 2,500 pounds per square inch of pressure. And after 30 minutes, the cider batch is completely pressed. When completely pressed, all that remains in each layer is the apple pulp. After pressing, the cider is transferred by a pump to 500-gallon stainless steel bulk refrigerated storage tanks, where the cider is then transferred to the bottling machine. The bottles are then filled 6 at a time. The bottles are then capped by hand, placed in cases, and transferred to a walk-in cooler. The apple cider is non-pasteurized with no preservatives added, which protects the sweet cider full flavor. Non-pasteurized cider also allows the purchaser to use the cider for many other uses, which include apple cider vinegar, apple wine, apple syrup, as well as many other uses.